Your daily routine is a quiet force shaping the direction of your life, whether you are aware of it or not. Every repeated action is a signal sent to your future, informing it of who you are becoming. What you practice daily does not remain temporary. It hardens into habit, and habit matures into identity. Over time, these small decisions stack up, constructing the framework of your destiny without asking for permission. Most people underestimate the power of ordinary days, believing that destiny is decided by rare opportunities or dramatic moments. In reality, the ordinary day is the training ground where futures are forged. The way you wake up, the thoughts you entertain, and the actions you repeat quietly determine whether progress is being made or potential is being wasted. Destiny is not waiting ahead of you, it is being built beneath your feet. Your routine teaches your mind what to expect from you. When you repeatedly show up with discipline, your mind learns to trust you. When you repeatedly delay, excuse, or distract yourself, your mind adapts to inconsistency. Over time, your internal standards rise or fall based on what you tolerate daily, and those standards guide the quality of your decisions. Daily routines also shape your emotional strength. Consistent structure builds resilience because it removes decision fatigue and emotional dependency. When your actions are anchored to routine rather than mood, progress continues even on difficult days. This emotional stability becomes a competitive advantage in a world where most people quit when motivation fades. What you do every day becomes your silent curriculum. Reading daily educates your thinking. Practicing skills daily sharpens your competence. Reflecting daily refines your awareness. Neglecting these practices does not keep you neutral. It slowly pulls you backward. Growth and decline are both products of repetition. Your routine reveals your values more honestly than your words ever could. Time spent consistently shows what truly matters to you. If growth, health, learning, or purpose are not present in your routine, they are not priorities yet. Destiny follows demonstrated values, not declared intentions. The compounding effect of routine is often invisible at first. Daily effort may feel insignificant in the moment, but time amplifies whatever you repeat. Small disciplines practiced daily accumulate into confidence, capability, and clarity. Small neglects repeated daily accumulate into regret, limitation, and frustration. Routines also determine the environments you create for yourself. Consistent behaviors attract consistent outcomes, relationships, and opportunities. When your routine is intentional, your surroundings begin to align with your direction. When your routine is chaotic, your environment mirrors that disorder. Your destiny does not require perfection, but it does demand consistency. Progress is unlocked not by doing everything, but by doing the right things repeatedly. A stable routine acts as a compass, keeping you aligned even when distractions attempt to pull you off course. Each day presents you with the same quiet question: will your routine move you closer to the person you are meant to become? Or will it reinforce the version you are trying to escape? Success is not moved by hope, emotion, or desire alone. It responds to order, clarity, and intentional design. Wishing for a better life without building a structure to support it is like expecting a building to stand without a foundation. Structure gives direction to effort, turning scattered energy into focused progress. Without it, even the most passionate intentions dissolve into inconsistency. Many people confuse motivation with momentum, believing that feeling inspired will carry them forward. Motivation is temporary, but structure is permanent. A well-designed system continues to work even when enthusiasm fades. When your days are organized around purpose instead of impulse, progress becomes predictable rather than accidental. Structure removes confusion by defining what matters most. When priorities are clear, decisions become simpler and distractions lose their power. Instead of reacting to whatever demands attention, structure allows you to respond intentionally. This clarity saves time, preserves energy, and sharpens focus, creating space for meaningful growth. Wishes are passive, but structure demands responsibility. It forces you to confront how you actually spend your time, not how you intend to spend it. Success begins when you stop negotiating with your goals and start scheduling them. What is placed into your routine gets honored, while what is left to chance gets ignored. Systems outperform raw effort because they eliminate reliance on willpower. Willpower fluctuates, but systems create consistency. When your environment and schedule support your goals, progress happens almost automatically. Structure turns discipline from a struggle into a habit. Every successful outcome is supported by invisible frameworks. Behind financial growth is a budget and a plan. Behind physical strength is a training routine. Behind mental clarity is a habit of learning and reflection. These frameworks are rarely glamorous, but they are always essential. Structure also creates accountability even when no one is watching. It becomes a silent standard you measure yourself against daily. When actions align with structure, confidence grows. When they don't, awareness increases, offering a chance to course correct before damage compounds. Without structure, time becomes an enemy. Days blur together, progress becomes hard to measure, and effort feels wasted. With structure, time becomes an ally. Each day builds upon the last, creating visible evidence of growth and reinforcing belief in the process. Structure transforms dreams into executable plans. It bridges the gap between vision and reality by breaking big goals into daily actions. Instead of being overwhelmed by the distance ahead, you focus on completing today's assignment with excellence. Success follows those who build systems strong enough to carry them on days when belief is weak, energy is low, and results are delayed. How you start your day quietly programs the direction of everything that follows. The first moments after you wake up set your mental posture, determining whether you will lead the day or spend it reacting. When your morning begins without intention, distractions rush in to claim your focus. But when it begins with purpose, clarity takes control and guides your actions forward. The mind is most impressionable at the start of the day. What you allow into your thoughts during those early moments shapes your emotional state and decision-making for hours. If stress, noise, or comparison dominate your morning, they echo throughout your day. A calm, disciplined start creates stability that protects your focus from external chaos. Your morning habits establish momentum. Simple actions like planning, reflecting, or moving your body signal commitment to growth. These actions reinforce self-trust, reminding you that you can direct your behavior regardless of how you. That early sense of control builds confidence that carries into every responsibility you face. When mornings are rushed and unstructured, life begins to feel overwhelming. You move from task to task without a clear sense of direction. But a structured morning anchors your priorities before demands arrive. It allows you to decide what matters most instead of letting urgency dictate your schedule. The way you start your day also influences your energy levels. Intentional routines support mental clarity and physical readiness. Neglecting the morning often leads to reactive choices that drain energy, while thoughtful preparation preserves it. Energy managed early is energy multiplied later. Morning discipline strengthens identity. Each intentional start reinforces the belief that you are someone who shows up for yourself. Over time, this identity becomes stronger than temporary moods or external pressures. Consistent mornings quietly reshape how you see yourself and what you believe is possible. Starting the day with focus reduces decision fatigue. When key actions are automated through routine, mental energy is freed for creative and strategic thinking. Instead of wasting attention on trivial choices, you reserve it for meaningful progress. Your morning sets emotional boundaries. It gives you space to define your mindset before the world attempts to influence it. Without this boundary, other people's priorities, opinions, and problems begin to control your emotional state. A grounded morning protects your inner stability. Small morning disciplines compound into long-term transformation. What feels minor isolation becomes powerful through repetition. A few minutes of intentional effort daily creates clarity, consistency, and confidence over time. The start of your day is not just the beginning of hours, but the beginning of patterns that shape how you live, how you respond, and how you grow. Consistency is the quiet force that outperforms bursts of effort every time. Intensity may feel powerful in the moment, but it is short-lived and often unsustainable. Real progress is built through repeated action, not occasional extremes. What you do steadily becomes part of who you are, while what you do intensely but rarely fades without impact. Many people rely on motivation to fuel intense effort, only to stop when motivation disappears. Consistency removes dependence on emotional highs and lows. When actions are repeated daily, progress continues regardless of mood, energy, or circumstance. This reliability is what creates long-term results. Small actions done consistently accumulate into massive change. Reading a few pages daily builds knowledge. Practicing a skill briefly each day builds mastery. Saving small amounts regularly builds financial stability. These results appear inevitable in hindsight, but they are the product of steady commitment. Intensity often leads to burnout because it demands more than can be maintained. Consistency respects human limits while still producing growth. By doing what is manageable and repeatable, you ensure progress without exhaustion. Sustainable effort keeps you in the game long enough to win. Consistency builds trust with yourself. Each time you follow through on small commitments, confidence grows. This self-trust becomes a foundation for bigger challenges. Intense but inconsistent effort weakens confidence because it creates a pattern of starting strong and quitting early. The compound effect rewards consistency disproportionately. Progress may be invisible at first, but time magnifies repeated actions. What seems insignificant in a day becomes extraordinary over months and years. This delayed reward system favors those who remain patient and committed. Consistency also sharpens focus. When habits are established, distractions lose power. You no longer debate whether to act. Action becomes automatic. This reduces mental friction and preserves energy for higher-level thinking. Those who win over time are rarely the most intense in the room. They are the most reliable. They show up when it is boring, repetitive, and unnoticed. Their edge comes from endurance, not drama. Intensity seeks quick results, but consistency builds lasting ones. One dramatic effort may create excitement, but steady action creates transformation. Growth that lasts is always rooted in repetition. Discipline is often misunderstood as restriction, but in reality, it is the gateway to freedom. When your actions are guided by discipline, you are no longer controlled by impulse, distraction, or momentary emotion. Discipline places you in control of your choices, and control is the foundation of personal freedom. The more disciplined you become, the fewer limits your life contains. Without discipline, freedom becomes chaos. Too many options without structure lead to inconsistency and regret. Discipline narrows your focus to what truly matters, allowing your energy to be used intentionally instead of being scattered. This focus creates space, clarity, and direction in your daily life. Discipline also builds confidence through self-trust. Each time you do what you said you would do, you strengthen your belief in yourself. Confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you earn through repeated follow-through. When your actions align with your commitments, self-doubt begins to fade. The confidence created by discipline is quiet but unshakable. It does not rely on praise, validation, or external approval. It comes from knowing that you can rely on yourself under pressure. This inner certainty becomes a source of calm strength in difficult situations. Discipline removes emotional dependency from decision-making. When habits are established, progress does not depend on how you feel in the moment. You act because it is part of who you are, not because you are inspired. This stability protects you from inconsistency and burnout. Freedom grows as discipline reduces consequences. Financial discipline reduces stress. Health discipline increases energy. Time discipline creates availability. Each discipline choice removes a future limitation, giving you more options rather than fewer. The structure you build today becomes the freedom you enjoy tomorrow. Discipline also sharpens identity. It reinforces the belief that you are capable of growth, restraint, and excellence. This identity shift changes how you approach challenges and opportunities. You begin to see yourself as someone who can handle responsibility and achieve long-term goals. When discipline becomes routine, confidence becomes natural. You no longer question your ability to show up or follow through. This certainty allows you to take bigger risks because your foundation is stable. Discipline provides the courage to pursue ambitious goals. A disciplined life creates predictable progress. Instead of hoping for good outcomes, you begin to expect them. This expectation is rooted in evidence, not optimism. The results you experience reinforce the system you've built. Mastering your routine is the most practical way to take control of your future. The actions you repeat daily quietly decide the direction your life moves in. When your routine is intentional, your progress becomes intentional. The future does not respond to potential. It responds to patterns that are practiced consistently. Your routine acts as a framework for decision-making. When structure is in place, choices become simpler and distractions lose influence. Instead of reacting to circumstances, you begin responding with clarity. This shift from reaction to intention changes how opportunities are recognized and used. A well-designed routine reduces friction between who you are and who you want to become. It bridges the gap between vision and execution by turning long-term goals into daily behaviors. Without this bridge, even the strongest vision remains theoretical. Routine transforms ambition into measurable progress. Mastery of routine builds momentum. Each completed task reinforces forward movement, making the next action easier. This momentum compounds, creating a rhythm that supports consistency. Over time, progress feels less forced and more natural. Routines also protect your focus. In a world competing for attention, structure acts as a filter. When your day is planned, interruptions lose their power to derail you. Focus preserved daily becomes progress accumulated over time. Your routine influences your environment and relationships. Consistent behaviors shape the people you attract and the standards you tolerate. As your routine improves, your surroundings begin to align with your direction. Growth becomes reinforced rather than resisted. Mastering routine requires awareness before change. You must observe how you currently spend your time and energy. This awareness creates responsibility, and responsibility creates control. Control over routine becomes control over outcomes. Routine mastery does not demand perfection, only commitment. Missing a day does not erase progress, but abandoning structure does. The goal is consistency, not flawlessness. Stability comes from returning to the routine, not from never deviating. As routines strengthen, confidence increases. You begin to trust the process because you can see evidence of progress. This trust reduces anxiety about the future. When your present actions are aligned, the future feels manageable. Your future is shaped daily by the systems you maintain and the habits you protect, and mastering them is the most direct path to lasting progress. I prefer this response.